world is more connected than ever before. But is this a way that humans are meant to interact? Social media. Websites and applications that enable the user to create and share content or to participate in social networking. As social media is taking over most of our lives, is it enhancing or harming the way that we connect with others? We asked Dan Benson, a former Twitter employee, his thoughts on social media.
I was on the team that made sure the system stayed up and running. I went to another company called Medium. It's a online digital publishing platform. Primary focus is to have it so people can share their ideas and their views. So I think this recent election probably exposed some of the problems with social media. I think the biggest problem is that the people's online personas are much different than their real life personas. So I think that's a big challenge. So people are more willing to offend people, I think, when they're behind a keyboard than they would be if they were in front of a person, for example. So when I was at Twitter, there was some really good things. During Arab Spring, our platform provided a way for a lot of these groups of people to communicate, which was amazing. Same thing with the big tsunamis in Japan. It was used as a tool to help people. So there are a lot of good uses of social media. I just think right now we're in a pretty big funk with the election. So obviously I use Medium, and then I use Twitter, and I use Facebook, and then probably Nextdoor, which is kind of a social media platform. So I use Medium every day because I work there, and I probably look at Twitter every day, probably Facebook every other day, and Nextdoor probably every other day. I think the jury's still out. If you were to ask me, like I said, after like the Arab Spring and those kind of moments, I would say, yeah, absolutely, it's helping. But right now, I think it hasn't helped people, to be honest. On one hand, I think that the ability to post things anonymously and to be, not having the accountability I was kind of talking about, I think that's good because there's some situations where someone being able to post anonymously is good. Because as long as maybe someone might be too scared, or there might be other reasons why they might not want to post something. So I don't know if that's going to change. I hope we have a place where people can speak their minds and not feel like they're going to get prosecuted for something. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you on that. I think we're trying to sort out like the fake news stuff. We're trying to sort out. That's a good question because I think it's constantly changing. Like people are using things like Snapchat. Like you guys are probably using Snapchat and probably using tools that maybe Instagram and that kind of stuff. I think we'll see like new players come on board. I think you might see people like gravitate towards like social networks that are more focused in their interests. Like more specifically, like maybe there might be like if you're into quilting, for example, someone might go to a quilting social network, right? And maybe people won't be so focused on Facebook or these big large networks. Maybe it might be more niche. Yeah, it might be a little more niche, which I think because I think a lot of people get tired of seeing a lot of this stuff and they just want to focus on what makes them happy. Maybe not going to Facebook would be good. I don't know.
Social media might be a good way to connect with friends, but it can kill you. On February 6th, 2008, Huhan Sliker shot his dad in the back of the head with a 12-gauge shotgun. This is his father, but what drove him to commit such a heinous act? Because he wasn't allowed to use MySpace. Social media can drive us to do things that we would never think of doing.
Social media has impacted the world in very good ways. One of the most viral examples would be the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. The simple premise of tagging 3 other people spread like a wildfire and ended up raising over $115 million for ALS research. Websites like GoFundMe.com have created a way for people to crowdsource funds. Countless success stories can be found on their website, as the program has touched the lives of thousands of people.
Despite all of social media's downsiders, it can be used as a force for good in the world. Social media has a positive impact on human interactions.